The story is a parody of both prison movies and American culture. So you have all of the classic and cliche prison movie moments that we've all loved in all the great films going back to George Raft and James Cagney all the way through Clint Eastwood and the others, and Shawshank and the rest of those films. And the American culture aspect has to do with our consumerism and our obsession with hygiene and appearance. And those two things are blended into the story.
Did anyone hit you up to be a distributor?
Hell no!
Great! Hey, look. Do you understand the basics of multi-level marketing? Well, it's kind of like that drug ring they had going back in the 80s.
Before this revolution, I guess you'd call it, started, you know, the place was like a typical prison. It was pretty dark and dank and had a certain aroma to it. You know, it was pretty manly and rugged and could be a little frank around the edges, but you know, that's just the way it was. But now it smells like forests and flowers and trees and all sorts of other stuff. I mean, it's almost pleasant to be around here. A little nicer to come to work.
If Jeff Cook had not originally written this as a showcase for himself, and we had all the money on the planet to have the biggest names possible, I would still say that a story like this is best told with relative unknowns. Because sometimes big stars can get in the way of a story.
You got a lot of guts coming down here, Jake.
We need to talk!
Pay your protection money. You came down here alone. Now I think you're the one needing protection.
I'm having a little get-together.
What?
Come to my cell, 7-ish!
Jeff and I had a mutual agreement right from the first day, and that was, we don't want to do a student film. We don't want to do some cheap-oyed, half-baked, you know, weekend, you know, director's reel or any of that. It wasn't going to be an ego exercise for him or for me. If we were going to do this, we were going to maintain our professional standards.
And I was looking for one-act plays to do, and I couldn't find anything that I liked. So I came up with a concept, and I wrote a rough first draft and faxed it to a friend of mine. And 2 hours later, he faxed me back a polished version of the script. And so we went from there. We did it at the Tiffany, started doing the scene with Wayne, and we just got incredible response.
We did about 10 performances, and they had an idea to turn it into a short film. So they expanded it from a 15-minute play to a 30-minute film.
I had never written for the screen, so I decided to try to adapt the screenplay and went ahead and did that. And I really believed in it. So I sent it to my friend Tom Blomquist and said, I think this is funny, what do you think? And he called me back and he said, I think it's hysterical, I want to direct it.
You've never seen this story before, you've never seen these characters before in this context, and you've never seen most of these moments before. And I find that really, really funny.
And he's such an experienced screenwriter that he just was able to walk me through the entire process and teach me a lot of the things that I needed to know and just kind of cut me loose. Because doing a play, you're locked into one set of time. And when you're doing a screenplay, you can bounce back and forth and jump all over the place. And he just kept on saying, no, go ahead, go wherever you want it to take you.
A lot of comedy films can be funny, but they're derivative in some form or another, and true originality and true freshness is just hard to come by.
And I know the material so intimately from having done it on stage, which is great to be able to have that knowledge of it and know the characters. And the guy who's playing Eddie, Wayne, and I already had a relationship and knew the jokes and knew the moments and knew what the audience liked when we did it on stage. So when you translate that over onto film, we still have that memory.
Get away from me. You're not getting me hooked on that stuff.
Yeah. I'm hooked. I'm hooked bad.